Tales of the Shire is one of the worst Lord of the Rings games to ever release. It's right on par with the Gollum game, and unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to be getting another LOTR title anytime soon, given we've seen failure after failure after failure. And well, while this game was supposed to be a LOTR fans' cozy dreams, it came out, it was met with a heck of a lot of backlash, and basically nobody is playing it anymore. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, I absolutely love Tolkien's work. I have shelves upon shelves of it behind me, and I was initially pretty excited for this. Did I think that it was going to be the best game ever? No. But then as time had gone on and we had gotten closer to release, we saw lead producers attacking gamers and calling us conspiracy theorists for calling out DEI narratives being pushed into our entertainment. This was basically being developed as a Rings of Power title instead, because they didn't care about following source material or giving fans a good experience. And then it's like they put the least amount of work and effort into it possible. It is buggy, it is broken, it is just a terrible experience all around. And well, they are definitely facing the consequences of their actions because basically nobody is playing it anymore. Now, when it released 6 days ago, it on Steam topped out at 6,723 people, which when you're talking about Lord of the Rings, that is an abysmal number. But after just a week, most people have given up on it because in-game right now is 2,270. The 24-hour peak is 5,413, and that was over the weekend. And we don't really know other platform numbers, like we don't know PlayStation or Xbox or Switch, but I would assume that they couldn't be much better than this. Usually we don't see one platform gaining millions and millions of people and another getting only a couple thousand, and it just goes to show this is what happens when you attack your audience. You give people a really buggy and broken experience, and it's like you didn't care about ever actually trying to give people something that was worth their money, because you had delayed this game multiple times and it's still released in this state. I don't even want to imagine what it was at the beginning of the year when it was supposed to release, or even what it looked like last year. Like, this title feels like it was made in maybe a year or a year and a half by a smaller team, and they were like, you know what, this is just a working build, and this is like a pre-alpha, and this is just a version that is for us. These systems were not fleshed out. Again, completely disrespects Tolkien source material in order to promote diversity narratives. And this, it's just so sad all around that they really thought that they would give money to a company like Sweet Baby Inc. to help with this story, which, by the way, there's virtually no story to this, and for sensitivity reading. And that money could have actually gone into making the product feel like it was even closer to release. It's like they just wanted to burn money. And this is the problem with so many games that are releasing these days. Even games that have hundreds of millions of dollars behind them end up releasing poorly optimized, and they're just really terrible products all around. Maybe put money into hiring people who know how to make a game and write a story instead of hiring activists. Now, we do know that this is actually one of the worst rated Lord of the Rings games in history. I streamed it for 5 hours. I rated it. The review is up on my second channel, the Vara Reviews channel. It will be linked down below, but I honestly want to say that this is worse than Gollum, because at least Gollum had a little bit of gameplay. Sure, in Tales of the Shire, you walk around, you skip around, you hop around, you can plant things, you can cook things, you can fish, but every system is just so basic. It's just bare bones. And it says that Tales of the Shire, of course, is officially out. The ratings and scores are abysmal. And to put into perspective, Metacritic has whipped up a quick ranking on every Lord of the Rings game from worst to best. Tales of the Shire hit 19th out of 25. This is very low, and if you consider its PS5 score, it scores 54 out of 100, which would drop it down to 24th out of 25, which is crazy. And taking a look over on Steam, the user scores are sitting at mostly positive, but there's a running theme here where even the positive reviews say to ignore the haters, which to me just screams that they are not people who are defending or enjoying the game based on its level of quality, but because these are individuals who are part of this fictitious modern audience, people who I suppose thought that they were going to defend a Lord of the Rings game and it's like they were going to be praised for it. People who maybe are just coping over the fact that they spent $30 to $40 on this. They didn't ever really care about it being the best game. They just figured, hey, we want to own the chuds and maybe get a few hours out of an experience. Here are some of the positives. Lord of the Rings fan looking for a cozy, relaxing game? This is it. Great game. Love it. You have some that were even refunded that were negatives, saying, yeah, it had the potential to be a cozy, charming life sim set in a beloved world, but it ultimately falls short in several key areas, from lackluster visuals to frustrating performance issues to overly simplified gameplay and a forgettable story. It struggles to deliver a satisfying experience. And here are some that are basically just saying, to set your expectations. It's a cute game. You shouldn't have gone into this expecting a AAA experience. Even some of the positives are saying that it is poorly optimized. This is a recommended. The only downside I have for this game is the graphics optimization. I run 30 FPS no matter how high or low the settings. Hopefully that gets patched, which just does not sit well with me. But yeah, we are talking about it also falling out of top sales charts. This is the top currently global selling Steam games list, and it is already down to number 71. So I think over the next week and a half-ish to 2 weeks, it will be out of the top 100. It's going to be completely irrelevant. And the only people that are really talking about it right now are people who didn't like this experience. Of course, on Steam, you have to have actually purchased the game to leave a review, but if you look at other platforms like Metacritic, right, there are not even that many people who are leaving reviews, but all of the reviews are overwhelmingly negative. Now, again, keep in mind, these could be some people who didn't buy the game. I'm sure that there are people here who did buy it, but either way, it's sitting at a 3.0 with 25% or 14 positives, 4% or 2 mixed, and 71% or 40 negatives. This game is a big fat turd on Tolkien's legacy. They have recreated the same old tired, cozy farming sim with a modern audience makeover. You can't even choose your gender, and every character looks lame AF. Yeah, you get into the character customization system, and you have a slider for body types, but there's no female or male option. There's no male or female locked hairstyles or clothing types or eye colors or anything like that. There is almost nothing good about it. It feels like you're playing a PlayStation 2 game. So yeah, we're talking about some very, very negative reviews right here. And I can't say I'm particularly surprised. I personally gave it a shot. I did try to play it myself because I had talked about it on the channel and I wanted to see if it was as bad as I was expecting. Sometimes I'm wrong, right? Sometimes I think something looks bad and I play it and it's really good, but this is definitely not one of those titles that was surprising, to say the least. I thought it was going to be bad, and oh boy, was it truly abysmal. So I highly recommend you do not waste your money purchasing this. You don't waste your time playing this. There are so many other amazing cozy games out there. And I also hate how developers use the word cozy as if they can just make a really mediocre game. And then they say it's supposed to be simple. Guys, it's not supposed to have the highest end graphics that a developer could make. So yeah, it's just not good all around. I'll definitely be keeping my eye on this to see if any of the developers lash out at gamers, but right now Tales of the Shire has only been out for a week and it is already dead. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.